I wanna hear your thoughts. I wanna hear your sound. And mama always told me to shout and speak my mind out loud. Come on and talk when you got the time. Freedom, want you on the line. We wanna hear from you. You got it going. Let your voice shine. Platform yours is not just mine. We wanna hear from you. You got it going. Talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me. You're gonna shine. Talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me. You're gonna shine. Hey y'all, what's up? It's your boy Douglas, or you can call me Freedom. Welcome back to my channel. Before we get started, make sure that you guys like this video, comment below this video, share this video, and subscribe to my channel because you need me. I am so glad to be back. Oh my God, I missed you guys. Oh, one more thing before we get started. Also, as I always say, forgive my background and my brother. Your boy's been gone for a couple of weeks. I know. I've been doing a lot of work just with school, and your boy did get a new job, so I've been doing a lot of work and kind of focusing a lot of my energy into that because y'all know it's grind and survival time right now. Doesn't mean I'm gonna stop giving y'all content. Like I always tell y'all, stay tuned. Let's get into our segment. Hey y'all, what's up? So we are in our first segment, Freedom of Speech. I have a very special guest with me today. We've known each other for a couple of years. This podcast was long overdue. I want all of you guys to give a special virtual round of applause for Chanala. Chanala, introduce yourself, give your pronouns, and tell the people a little bit about yourself.
Hey guys, I'm Chanala. I'm from Brooklyn. I'm currently at school. I attend SUNY Brockport. I'm a childhood education major with a minor in African and African American studies. I'm currently trying to pursue my teaching career. To be honest with you, I want to teach all. I want to teach elementary, middle, high, and even college. I'm just happy to be here. I'm happy to be a guest with my homeboy, Tagi. So yeah, that's it.
Okay, so first things first. Chanala's my girl. We actually met through my best friends from middle school. Shout out to Jasmine and Simone. They're gonna love that we're doing this podcast together. Oh my God, they're going to lose it. Yes. You said that you're in school for teaching. What inspired you to be a teacher? I know you've kind of you brushed upon the topic here and there, but what really told you, hey, teaching is what I want to do? Because you're the only friend of mine that wants to become a teacher. So what really made this lane for you?
Growing up, school has always been my escape. I don't want to speak too much about my trauma, but this trauma included where school just was my escape since I was younger, and especially elementary school, just remembering how broad it was, how fun it was, just going to school, forgetting about all your troubles, because you're at school more than you're at home. So since I was younger, school has always just been my thing. I've always been good at school. I've always loved, and I always found it fascinating learning something new. And then just that feeling, I was just that's something I know I want to do, knowing that I have the ability to just teach and mold these creative young minds. And I knew I always wanted to be a teacher because since I was in elementary school, I would always dress up so professionally for Halloween. And when they would ask me what's my costume, I would tell them a teacher. So since I was younger, I used to pick school with my baby dolls. I used to drag my brothers. My parents can vouch. My mom really can. She can vouch for me for what I'm saying, because she even gave me a cute little whiteboard when I was younger, because I just knew that teaching was just my thing. My mom is also a teacher, and people always get it confused. Oh, you want to be a teacher because your mom's a teacher. I don't want to be a teacher because my mom's a teacher. It gets quite opposite, actually. And then my mom's a high school teacher. She just went into teaching high school. But I feel I don't know. I just love younger kids. They're more fun. They're more creative. They're more so interested and could be more engaged than older kids. Of course, I said I want to try them all, but when my patience run thin for my younger kids, that's when I'll change up to something maybe older. But
yeah,
teaching, I feel like education is so important. Having an education is so important.
Yeah.
So just knowing that I'm able to give those an education makes me feel really good, because when you're a teacher, you're in everything. Like when I sign up to be a teacher, I'm signing up to be a first parent.
Yeah.
I'm signing up to be a second parent. I'm signing up to be a guidance counselor, lunch lady, everything.
You really want to
Because
do
you don't know where these kids come from. And that's why I took a class recently where we had to learn about like the psychology of like kids from newborn, not even from being a fetus to like high school level. So it's important. I'm really interested. I love it. I know I'm gonna be a fun teacher. I know my students are gonna love me. My friends tell me all the time I'm gonna be such a great teacher. I'm so passionate about what I do.
Yeah.
Like I can talk about it all day. That's how much I love wanting to be a teacher.
No, because you actually said like two things that kind of applied to me when I was a little kid. My mom gave me this Little Tikes chalkboard. It was blue with like, and the actual board was purple and it came with chalk. And I used to get all my toys because I had like a Bob the Builder, I had Mickey Mouse, I had the whole, early 2000s kids. Let me not even get to my tangent because we had the shows, we had the toys, not trumping nobody else's childhood era, but our era was it. And, I remember grabbing all the toys and also kind of like teaching my toys and whatnot. I used to come home from school with the work that I was taught and reteach it to my toys. And my mom never stopped me because she was like, little did I know I was studying my material without even knowing that that's what I was doing. All I was doing was what the teachers always want you to do. And that was like studying your material. And I didn't know how much that really was helping me in school until I started passing exams. I was a straight A student.
Yeah.
So, when you said that like literally just related to me all the way because I literally did that same stuff. Oddly enough, I never wanted to actually like be a teacher like in the school system, but I feel like even as an artist, I also do serve as a teacher in some way.
Yeah.
Just in a different way. I might not be in school physically or in front of kids, but I do plan on attending schools and speaking, I do plan on just like, obviously as I get older and as I learn more myself as an artist, teaching some of the same stuff that I learned to upcoming singers, so I would say in a way too, I'm like in a teacher lane, but just not in like an actual school setting with a classroom and stuff like that. Like I teach through my art, my music, my acting, just my overall experience. So it's really big when you think about it. Like we are all kind of teachers in our own way, but you're doing a whole nine. You're in the hands.
I'm going to school for it. I'm going to school.
You know what I mean? Like you're really in the like hands-on type of situation. And I just want to say that I really feel like it is so monumental. And I'm making a big deal out of it because to me, it kind of is a big deal for you to be a Black girl and like just in this teacher field. I don't know if we have a lot. You know what I mean? Shout out to Quanisha. She teaches third grade. And I just like when I hear people, when I see my Black girls going into that lane, we don't have a lot. We don't have a lot. Like I only had one Black teacher. Really? Shout out to Miss Davis. The best part about Miss Davis is like she lived by me. So like she would see my mom food shopping. There was no such thing as having to do a parent teacher conference because she was always going to see my mom at the market. Like, you know what I mean? And she was from the hood. So she knew the lifestyle I was coming from. You know what I mean? And you want teachers like, it's something when Black kids have Black teachers. Like there's a solar connection there. I don't know what it is. There just is one. You know what I mean? I think that it's very monumental that you being a Black girl is like, yeah, I'm trying to be a teacher. I'm trying to do this because I don't know if we have a lot. Just for the record, like I do feel like we have a lump sum, like we have a handful of Black educators, but at least growing up for me, I didn't see a lot. So do you have an idea to like why?
I tell somebody, what you in school for? Oh, I want to be a teacher. Couldn't be me. Oh, what you go to school for? I want to be a teacher. Oh, those badass kids. Those are the things I get from people. When in reality, I learned that these kids, I can admit they are getting worse, but it's not the kids' fault. So I feel like a lot of people don't want to be teachers because they feel like these kids are bad. And I'm telling you, every time I tell them my major, I always get comments like that. Couldn't be me, can't be me. And I'm quick to defend I'm not even a teacher yet, and I'm quick to defend them. I go, okay, I'm sorry, but where are the kids before they come to school? Do I raise the kids or do their parents raise the kids? Kids act the way they are, and it all starts from home. Home, 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 home. That's where it all starts from. So the kid isn't just going to be bad. A baby isn't born bad. It's your environment. It's what the kids absorb. It's what they take in. I'm telling you, I could preach about this all day. People really don't want to be teachers because of the kids. And I get it. These kids is bad. Some people don't have the patience. Some people don't have this. But all of that shit is going to help you, especially over time. Like, I know that automatically I'm not a mom, but I know I'm going to be a great mom. I'm going to be a mom when I'm starting teaching. I'm automatically going to be a mom. I'm going to be a mom of 30-something kids. That's what my real thing is. I think people don't have the patience. They don't have the time. And they think that these kids are just automatically bad. Like, just bad. I get it. Kids can be rude.
Oh, kids could be a lot.
Kids can be a lot. But I feel like just who I am and how I am and the type of soul I have and the type of genuine person I am, I know that me and my students, all of my students, no matter what I teach, we're going to get along. We're going to have a connection. We're going to have a relationship. And then they're going to learn. Yeah. So, another thing, too, is the pay. Can't front. Teachers don't get paid a lot. But
they don't, and that's crazy.
And I think it is crazy, too. I think that teachers carry too much and they do too much for the salary that they're getting.
Yeah, my cousin said last season that teachers should be getting paid at like a rapper's salary. They should. I
agree.
We're not even going to talk about just the types of schools and just the lack of funding that's getting. Like, we kind of brushed upon it earlier in the season, but that was something that I also wanted to gear into because I'm from the projects. You know what I mean? I'm from the hood, and the schools in my neighborhood, they don't get funding like that. They don't get the opportunities to do stuff like schools in the more residential neighborhoods, or shall I say more neighborhoods that are like predominantly white.
The suburban.
The schools out here don't get that much opportunities. Do you feel like it's more systemic than financial?
It all goes back to me, to the civil rights, like back then, based on the environment. I feel like it is systemic, personally, because systemic then falls hands to financially. I feel like they go hand in hand.
Yeah. Even when I asked the question, it felt like it was going hand in hand. I ain't going.
Yeah, like, they go hand in hand. So if your environment is shit, they're not going to give you a school that's just as fire as New Utrecht or Murrow. They're going to give you what they're going to give you.
Yeah.
Especially it's all about your reputation in the whole nine. So they're going to feel free. That's why some teachers do shit like out of pocket if they feel like it's not fair. Some teachers, you know, they go and they complain because sometimes it's not fair to those who actually deserve better and feel like it needs to be like fair enough. So that's what I have to say about that, honestly.
If you had the power to speak to the DOE, I guess specifically, you know, in New York, because that's where we're from. But if you had the power to speak to the DOE, what are changes that you would make that could be beneficial to the teachers and the students?
I feel like probably won't happen until I'm dead and gone, but they need higher pay rate as far as what we do, how we do, because teachers take a lot of shit that they don't deserve. Excuse my French, but they take a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
That they don't deserve, and it's not fair to them. You know, it's not fair. Like I seen a video the other day of this autistic kid beat up the teacher, and not the teacher, I think paralyzed or something, because he was just big. Then this other video I saw, another autistic kid, he got upset and he's kicking and fighting and throwing things at the teacher. And the teacher just trying to help calm the student down when they start overstimulating.
I've seen a lot of those videos. I've seen videos where like there'll be challenges to kind of like hit or like bother the teacher. And I noticed that like it made the news and people were like making such like a big thing about it. Like, Oh my God, you're right. They just take too much. They take too much. And the pay needs to be higher if they gonna take all of that. Like if I was a
Yeah,
teacher having experience, all of that,
that's why I want to be a college professor. I know they
you
get
know
the
what
money.
I mean? Like you wanna, but I'm not even gonna lie. Sometimes I feel like college, if I really had to choose, college. I feel like college, if not high school, probably college though. You know, college is really just an awesome space. I wanted to kind of double back to something you said.
Okay.
Schools in minority neighborhoods. I was put in schools that were predominantly white. My mom put me in schools that were predominantly white because she noticed that the schools that were predominantly white offered more to the kids. And if you ask me, it was one of the best decisions she ever made. My cousins, some of my cousins and stuff, they go to schools that are also predominantly white, and they're learning 5 times as much that they would have learned had they went to a school out here. And it's a problem that schools out here with predominantly Black kids don't get that much like attention. It really shows me what they are trying to do when it comes to Black culture and the Black community. Keep us as ignorant as possible, have our community be filled with next to nothing when it comes to the resources or opportunities, just so we could stay here. That way we could stay in that mindset, stay in this box. It's systemic in a way that it's a mind game. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like so much Black people fall into that trap. You know how many people in my neighborhood didn't finish school? Most of the people in my neighborhood have not gone to college. Like, that's crazy when you really think about it. I had my fair share of shit, and the predominantly white schools had their problems too. Big on that. But I've always thanked my mom for doing that for me because I just felt like I was able to get so much more. And I was kind of able to maneuver a little bit more easily. I was already getting bullied by a lot of the kids in my neighborhood. So to go to the same school as them, to me would have just been a lot for me. I could have saw that really affecting my education a lot, to be so bothered, especially at a young age where I'm not that educated on self-love. I'm not that educated on how to go about things. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
a you really start to think about it. So my mom used to always say that, like, Black people need to start doing what the white people are doing. You know what I mean? Just like when it comes to what to give their kids, what to offer their kids. My biggest thing that I really want to teach a lot of the kids out here is that there's so much more than the hood. Like, it's so much more than what y'all are seeing. There's so much more to life. I wish that it wasn't a thing where you had to say, okay, yeah, I'm gonna just put my kid in a predominantly white school because the kid with the school with the predominantly Black kids ain't doing so good. Like, I wish that wasn't the case. I wish that a parent could proudly say, hey, I could put my kid in a school with predominantly Black kids. You know what I mean? And they could get the exact same amount of attention and education and resources that this school is getting. Like, I wish that choice wouldn't even have to be made. So I understand what you mean by, like, there needs to be a change in just the system. That's why I said it's monumental that you're even in this lane. I remember seeing this video a couple of years ago, and my mom showed me it. And some of these schools whether it's like a grade school or college, some of these schools, I was told, will reject you just upon your name. Like, they assume so much stuff about you just because of your name. Like, you know how, like, we have names that are commonly associated with Black girls. You know what I mean? Like Aisha or, Maisha or, like, names of that nature. The video said that when you have names like that, some of these schools will look at that name and then automatically reject you. Like, if you have a name that's considered common or a white people name,
Yeah.
like, you get a pull to have so much more opportunities. And I kind of wanted to know, do you agree with that? Like, how do you feel about that? Because I remember learning that a long time ago. And, like, when I heard that the system was kind of set up to even where it was kind of like that, it gets you to thinking. So, like, I really wanted to know, like, what do you feel about like that, whatever?
It's all because we're Black. Maisha probably smarter than Craig. And Tamika probably smarter than
Like, even like, the name don't matter.
racism is still there, just in a different font. It's all part of that too. That's kind of a racism, a dickhead move. Maxine probably smarter than Kimberly.
Let's talk about it. I really do, like I said, pray for the best for you when it comes to just teaching and the overall experience. I think it's something that you're really going to enjoy. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I wanted to really touch upon Black families with you. We were on FaceTime a couple of days ago because me and Chanala are venting buddies. And that's actually one of the best things that I like about our friendship. You know, we have that knack of venting to one another. You definitely had a very adventurous last couple of months, and so has I. Oh, how you say yes? Like, we're not even going to talk about it, but yes. One of our biggest conversations, something that really inspired me to do this podcast episode with you, was your standards on getting men. I wanted to touch upon that first.
My standards for men have become very high due to my father.
Got it.
My father has treated me and my sisters like princesses.
Mm-hmm.
My parents are still married. So I just come from a loving family, and I'm surrounded by love, and I'm surrounded by healthy relationships.
Can I also say that even
Yes.
a Black girl, to have your mom and dad prominently in your life, it's not that common.
It's not that common.
It's not. I just wanted to point that out.
No, it's cool.
That's beautiful within itself because it's really not common in our community.
Yeah, my parents got married August of 2000, and they just became 23 years married. They're going to be 24 next August. But yeah, I'm surrounded by love. Yes, everybody's surrounded by love. So what I see is what I want, and then some. First of all, because I have my father in my life, I know when a man is a piece of shit. Like, automatically, I know when a man is a piece of shit. Based on how they breathe, based on how they carry themselves, I know you're a piece of shit.
Like, you can literally feel the f***ery. Like,
I like to ask questions, and usually get uncomfortable when you ask some questions, but I'm always been a bitch to never care. My number one thing, you have to believe in God. I'm a Christian. I'm not a crazy Christian, but I'm working on my relationship with God, and I believe in God, and I'm all for that. So you have to be a man of God.
Gotcha. That's rule number one.
Right. My second thing, it was gonna be number one, but I always put God ahead of anything and anyone.
Let's talk about it.
So my second thing is you gotta have a college education. I'm sorry. I don't think I'm settling for anything.
Don't be it. I'll even settle for an associate's.
I'll even settle for an associate. And that's just me being generous.
That's just you being generous.
That's just me being real generous if you have an associate. And me pushing it is if you have a good job with paying benefits and it's good enough to support you and I. Like, but then once we have kids come into the question. And how we going to do this? Like, I don't want to be the one. I want everything to be 100 when it comes to us. Me and my partner. I can't be the one always making the money all the time. I'm stuck in that where I don't mind, where I'm actually stuck in that mindset where I do feel like deep down inside nobody shoot me. I do feel like a man should be making more money than one. It is wrong. I'm all for the fair, I'm all for the fair pay.
Yeah.
But I can take care of myself. I can definitely take care of myself.
Big on it.
But I'm just all for that. Like especially when it comes to, because you're the man of the house, you're the supporter, you're the provider, how you gonna do all that with no money? You want to call yourself the man of the house, the head of the house, with what? Like, my thing is too, like, what can you bring to my table? If you can't bring that to my table, I don't even look at these the right way. Perfect example, I went out with this dude last night.
Yeah.
I was bored. I'm young. I'm on them little whack ass jeans.
Girl, let me tell you something about us being in our early 20s. We're going to do what we got to do. We are still learning, okay? We're going to experience. We're going to make our mistakes. We are going to make our choices. And it's just going to be our business. It's just that simple. We are 20. It's young, wild, and free era.
But my standards for men are extremely high. Like, very, 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 like, what are you doing with yourself, for real? What are you doing? Like, you gotta make something of yourself. Like, you have to, but you have to have a college degree. That's my rule. You gotta have a college degree to talk to me. That's what you gotta do. That's how I feel. Like I said, maybe my mindset will change, but I feel like there's a very slim chance of that really happening. Not saying it's not gonna happen at all, but because it's like black man, and I love my man like my coffee, black with 2 sugars and 1 cream.
I'm crying. That the darker the better. Right?
Darker the better.
I feel like even if you are heavily experienced in relationships, or if you're not, you still have a mindset of what you want for yourself. You know what I mean? And I really do agree with that whole idea of like, you are what you attract, because I've seen it. I've seen it. Like, I've seen people kind of get people based off of how they are, you know, and I feel like that is something that people should be really cautious of. I've seen a lot of heartbreak. I've been through some heartbreak, you know what I mean? I feel like we all have. And heartbreak could really taint you and really make you stop to want to really invest into someone. As a young person specifically, it's needed to know that you have your whole life to, you know, experience more relationships and really kind of like figure out exactly what you want in a lover. And I feel like what we really need to start doing, and this is something that I even learned with the help of therapy, is to really start giving yourself grace when it comes to things in your life, especially when it comes to just your romantic life, because I really feel like it's important. But there's so much girls out there specifically that, or just people out there specifically, that make the worst choices in boys. As a man, I can tell you that we're terrible. Like, it's ridiculous. It makes girls want to kind of like go to other out, and I don't blame them when they do. Being a boy, I've seen how boys act. A lot of men have this thing where they're emotionally unintelligent. They're so detached. They don't know how to, black men specifically, you know, they don't know how to deal with their emotions. They don't know how to navigate certain things, you know, and then they take all of that shit that is done with them and then they bring that into the damn relationship. I've seen it play out so many times. And no, this is not a bashing men thing, you know, but Chanala and I did have this conversation, and I really did want to bring that to light, because I really did want to, you know, really share upon that. You know, what do you say to girls that, I don't know, fuck with the wrong niggas? You know what I mean? Like, what do you got to say to that?
Females try to fill this void that's absent. And with a lot of females, nobody shoot me for saying this, but you
gotta really say that out loud for the ones in the back. Can you just repeat that for the ones in the back? Like,
and it's okay.
We all got a handful of trauma from our childhood. Like, we all do.
Having a father is so important. Having an involved father is so important.
I was about to say, because everybody got a dad, but it's whether or not your dad is involved in your life.
Yes, having an involved father is everything, especially for a girl. No matter what race, just having your dad is important. I feel like I have friends who don't really have their dad involved in their life, and I look at things differently than how they look at things. Like, because your first love should be, like, the person who really show you what love is should be your father. So a lot of females never had that. So they never know. They don't really know how it's supposed to feel, how it's supposed to look like, how it's supposed to be getting love and being shown love from a man. When the first man that is supposed to show you that love is supposed to be your father. So they try to fill in this void when it comes to men, because it's like, oh, he's doing this, oh, he's doing that. And they just ignore the red flags when the red flags is horrible. That's why I say I have a canine dog nose when it comes to their bullshit. I can sniff it from a mile away.
Yeah.
But it's hard. It's really hard for the girls who don't really have dads. And I feel bad, because all it is them trying to fill a void. I don't know if they know that, like if they would admit that to themselves, like, you know what, I have daddy issues and I pick all these men because I know I have daddy issues and I'm just trying to fill this void. But as someone who does have their father in their life, and I have friends who don't have their fathers in their life, I tell them straight up, like, yo, you know, it's giving daddy issues, like, girl, like, you know. So, but I can't really speak on too much about that, because like I said, I have my dad. Like, my dad used to be doing shit like, since we were younger, for Valentine's Day, My dad would not only give my mom a bouquet of flowers and a balloon and a card, he would also give me and my sister like cute little heart boxes of chocolate every Valentine's Day. On the day of love, my father would give his wife and his daughters chocolate.
Yeah.
My dad has always treated me like a princess. Even now, he still treat me like a princess. I can be 50 years old and my father will still treat me like a princess. Especially if he wants, like my father, he didn't have it nice growing up. He didn't have how the luxurious life we have. My father also too, born and raised in the projects. He didn't have that, but he know that he wanted to be different. He know that he didn't want to be like this person, that person. So as soon as my father's first kid, it was a girl too. My dad has 4 girls and 2 boys, but he takes care of all of us equally. He loves all of us equally. He's there for all of us equally. But I personally feel like it's a void that females try to fill in. And, it's something that I feel like once you acknowledge, you can move forward into it and how to, move about it and stuff like that. But it's a void. It's an empty void that these girls are just trying to fill in, honestly.
Yeah. I know some people that I have spoken to who've had conversations with me, when it comes to just the poor male choices that they've made, poor choices that they made when it came to picking partners, you know what I mean? And just like how you regret so-and-so relationship, but tomorrow you see them back with them. You know what I mean? They're so ready to make a change, but the next day, oh, you're texting him again. Oh, you actually him that exact same night you talked to me. You know what I mean? Like, it's that feeling of needing to run back. So I definitely agree with you there. Just when it comes to that feeling of like, it's that feeling of just feeling so emotionally connected to the point where you feel like you can't break off, and you tell yourself that you can't break off of it, to the point where it becomes more of like a compulsion. But that compulsion breaks your heart. You know what I mean? Like you're trying to fill something, but as you're trying to fill that void, you're also hurting yourself in the process. I remember, some of my friends coming to me for just like advice. And it was to the point where, like, being that I've helped a handful of my friends through toxic relationships, I noticed that a lot of them were coming to me for like anything that had to do with picking. Oh, so like I was talking to this boy, like, how do you feel about him? Like, do you feel like he's given? Like, do you feel like is this a good like person to be with, be around? It's like, babe, not only am I not that experienced in relationships, but because they're like, babe, not only am I not that experienced in relationships, but I'm not like I can't guide you through every relationship either, because I also do feel like everything happens for a reason. You're gonna need the heartbreak to better build yourself for the relationships that you deserve. I can't be that, guide for you, because I could be wrong. Let's say if I did even want to help you and make my little judgments and inferences, I can be wrong.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even say I didn't give good advice. Probably not advice that was meant for them in that specific situation. You know what I mean? I'll say that. But, I'm a human being. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a specialist in this kind of thing. I can't help you fill that void, basically. I do notice that now that I think back to certain situations and certain people, I do kind of also see how their fathers being absent in their life does really play a role when you really start to think about it. Like, yeah, that's why I was like, say it for the ones in the back, because like you really spoke all facts just now with that. Like, but do you feel like mommy issues also play a role in that? No, I'm not speaking for me. I'm just I'm assuming like if anybody else was here and they would want like a different view on that. Do you feel like if it was in reverse, that mommy issues could also play that role? Because I would say that some men that treat women badly might have mommy issues.
Yes. What they do is, because they have mommy issues, like a guy who 9 times out of 10, the guy has mommy issues and the girl has daddy issues, and they try to, what's the word? Trauma bond. That's how I see it. Because he's looking for this compassionate, genuine, listening, nurture in a female, and she's looking for this love and, tell me and be there for me. Like, That's what they're looking for. So what they do is that clashes. For some couples, I guess it works out. I don't really know. I don't know. Maybe they had therapy, maybe they don't. But for some, just
Yeah. Yes.
I don't think so. But I do think it goes hand in hand, and that men and their mommy issue.
Yeah. Like,
Where want the titty in the bottle always in their mouths.
yo. So like, yeah.
Man, you're supposed to be weak in the knees. Stand up.
Stand up. I say stand up. Like,
Stand up. Stand up.
Men having mommy issues is also a reason why some of them are actually emotionally unavailable, because they never gotten that emotion and that compassionate. Like I always said, my parents grew up with this, some of my brothers this, don't cry, you a boy. No, I'm gonna tell my son, get out your emotions, get yourself together, and then we're gonna come back and talk. You're a human being. Human beings cry. You crying does not make you any less of a man. If you cry, if you sad, you sad.
oh my God, girl, I said this so many times. Yo,
You're a
we've
human
had
being.
toxic masculinity talks on here. We've had the whole, just like that whole thing about them being emotionally unavailable because of everything that they've been through growing up. You know what I mean? And in the Black community specifically, how they're not giving that platform to really emotionally vent, and how they feel like they need to walk through fire and take in everything. And little do you know, that's not turning nobody on. That's not helping the situation. That's aiding in the relationship ending. That's aiding in more heartbreak for you and or your partner. You know what I mean? So it really is touchy when you get into it. And it really kind of shows you how much parents play a role in just everything. Like I remember Tyler Perry said it best when he was playing Medea. When you're raising a kid, you're packing a backpack for its life. You're stuffing the backpack with different things that they are going to carry with throughout the rest of their life. Kids are like sponges.
As a teacher, as a future educator, we have to stop saying kids are like sponges, because that's not a good anatomy. That's not a good thing to describe kids as.
How?
I learned that in one of my classes. Like,
you feel like there's a negative connotation around it?
Like, I wouldn't say that. I guess, like, that would be an acceptable metaphor. Sorry, my whole teacher thing came out. Don't call them that.
But no, for real. I want you to get into that. Like, why? Like, how?
It's just something I learned in my class, like, to not say kids are like sponges. It can also just be
it's just like
I grew up saying, like,
I'm one of those people where if I'm saying something that I know that certain people could be a little bit problematic, I would want to get a little bit of information on why. I want to,
that's nothing to really bark at you for. If you use the R word, I'm coming down your throat. I be having to correct a lot of these boys about using that R word.
First of all, we do not.
Do not use that around me. That's a curse word.
We don't do that over here. Not at all.
No, man.
Not at all. Not at all. Like,
no, man.
You know what I mean? And what I mean by sponges is I'm not trying
to absorb everything. Like, I get it.
Soak up everything.
Yeah.
I mean, the stuff that you don't think kids are pulling in, they're pulling in.
Yeah,
at 4. You know what I mean? They're pulling that in and they're taking that with them as they grow up. I really feel like it matters because you have no idea. You do. I'm saying, like, in general, some people really do not have no idea how much their childhood. Hence to why I'm really big on taking care of your inner child. Like Freedom Savage is about taking care of your inner child. This music, like everything I'm doing right now, is about taking care of your inner child. I'm doing this because it takes care of my inner child. You know what I mean? To be able to do this, to be able to do what I dreamed of doing since I was a little boy. Like, if you know me, you know that this was, I don't even need to say, this is my millionth time saying this. Like, if you know me, you know I was destined for all of this when it came to the camera, the music, the everything. You know what I mean? I'm doing what kind of was foreseen for me. You know what I mean? Because I love doing it. I'm taking care of my inner child doing it. And I really feel like people need to get out of that mindset of trying to put their childhood here and then put them now here.
Yeah.
A straight linear connection.
Yeah.
I mean, and it plays a role in everything. Little things that you grew up thinking is the reason for why you make these decisions now, or you operate this way right now in your adulthood. Like, your childhood lays the foundation for everything, and it is so important for that to be nurtured. Tying that back into just relationships specifically, if you're not taught or shown what it's like to truly love somebody and respect them for who they are, how are you going to know how to do that for, one, yourself, or two for somebody else. You know what I mean? I'll never forget this. One of my friends, one of her trash ass exes, he's misogynistic and he feels like he's above women. They have to serve him. All women have to do everything for his liking. He gets spoiled by his mom like crazy, from what she told me. And it made me think of something. I was a boy that was spoiled by his mother heavily. But in getting, and I always tell my friends this, there's two different types of getting spoiled by your mom as a boy growing up, whatever. You could be the type of boy where you're like me, your mom spoils you so much and gives you so much love and attention to where you know to do that same thing for somebody that you love. Like, I have so much respect for women. Like, I feel like a lot more than a lot of men do. And I don't know if that's just because I'm more in touch with my feminine side. But I have a lot of respect for women. And I do believe it's because of my mom's just love and nurturing, like when she spoiled me, when she did the things that she did for me throughout my life, it really kind of propelled me on how to treat females, compared to boys like my friend's trash ass ex, where when he got spoiled by his mother, in his mind, he's like, okay, that means all women have to do this for me. He took getting spoiled and he brought it into a whole nother lane. You know what I mean? And I've seen people do that. And I told my friends that that's how you get two different types of spoiled.
Yeah.
And it's people that you really need to be aware of. And it's stuff that you need to watch out for because it's important in a way. You know what I mean? Because like I said, this is how, and it's like even doing the right thing sometimes. Mm-hmm. Even doing the right thing sometimes as a parent. At the end of the day, your child is your own person. It is your own person. So like they're going to grow up to be whoever they are going to be. But it's hard to say if you give them all the loving, they're going to come out, doing that same thing for everybody else, So it's kind of a 50-50 thing. And that's why I kind of shout out parents that are involved in their child's life and try their best to do everything for their kid, because it is a scary, like, we can't talk because we're not parents yet, but like being a parent is a scary thing. Like from what I've seen, it's a scary thing. And I really want to like end that over by saying like, shout out to all parents. Like, shout out to all parents doing it, especially my single parents, especially my single mothers. Like, shout out to single dads. Shout out to all parents doing it, because like raising a kid is hard. You never know what you're going to get into when it comes to raising a kid.
The Freedom Savage podcast will be right back after these messages.
Did somebody call for the Don Dada? For all my New Yorkers out there that need their hair did, my girl Lily does weaves, braids, locks, ponytails, and natural hairstyles. You don't even need to leave the comfort to wherever you at. She'll come straight to you. DM Lily on Instagram at dream.styles1 to discuss pricing and all other inquiries.
Oh my, delicious!
Are there any words needed? Tati's Sweet House is open for business, and she makes all types of scrumptious and beautiful baked goods for any occasion. DM Tati on Instagram at Tati_sweet_house to discuss pricing and all other inquiries. Quaygold's Beauty is a luxury business that sells essential beauty products such as lashes, lip glosses, matte lip gloss, lip scrubs, body scrubs, candles, and jewelry. Don't even let me hold you back. Go ahead and DM at QuayGoldsBeauty_ to get your hand on the products that you need.
But it ended up happening, and I ended up losing it. I'm over here missing you, hoping that you listen. It was only that day that I learned to realize that life will hand you hardships, and that you gotta go through all the pain, and there's no getting around it. It hurt me, it broke me, traumatized me, consumed me. Had a shit on replay, you feel me? I thought I wanted to be yours, but our love had its run. It ran its course. I thought you.
Turn on your mics. We're back with the Freedom Savage podcast. Hey y'all. All right. So we are in our last segment. This is Freedom Fun. I have not done Freedom Fun yet this season at all. So I wanted to start it off. We always got to end y'all off with a little bit of fun, you know? So for this Freedom Fun, Chanala and I are going to do Would You Rather. And she has 3 Would You Rather questions for me. I have 3 Would You Rather questions for her. You guys already know how Would You Rather goes. You choose which one you'd rather do. But anyway, without further ado, Chanala, do you want to start? Do you want me to start? How do you want it to go?
I'll start.
Okay.
Would you rather get $1,000 a day or have $1,000 a day for the rest of your life, or get $1 million a year?
$1,000 a day, because I feel like it's one of those trick questions when it comes to money where like you hear the bigger number, so you want to go for the bigger number, but you're not putting too much thought into
how you getting that big number.
Yeah.
Right. Somebody gives you $1 million every year and you like stretch that out for the year.
Yeah. You know, stretch $1 million out for the year. And I feel like the way, first of all, the way the economy is nowadays and just everything being raised, I feel like that can go quickly. You know what I mean? Especially like if you're a person to splurge, that can go. So, you know, I really was listening for the key words when you said that. Like you didn't say $1 every day. You said $1 million a year. So I feel like I could manage $1,000. Like I would know how to handle my finances and stuff if I was to get $1,000 every day. You know what I mean? Oh my God, if that could be a reality. To like, for real. But all the way, I say none of us would gotta work. Are you kidding me? Yo, that was a really good ass question, babe.
Thank you.
If you had to choose one type of TV to watch for the rest of your life, would it be adult animation or would it be reality TV?
Adult animation.
Okay.
I like adult animation because it's funnier.
Yeah.
Like reality, like I like reality shows sometimes, but something about the adult cartoons just kill me. And I love comedy, like anything comedic.
What is your favorite adult animation?
Bob's Burgers. Has to be Bob's Burgers, especially in the beginning season.
Okay.
Bob's Burgers.
Okay, yeah, you already know mine is Family Guy for life. And Family Guy is a comfort show for me. Like, I feel like that's a show I could literally watch for the rest of my life. Like, I binged it for like the 1 millionth time recently. You know what I mean? Like, when I just...
Did you hear that Meg had a baby?
In Family Guy? Yes. I actually
saw that
season premiere. I saw the season premiere. I actually got to watch the other episode. And I think another episode came out this weekend. Yeah. How you say? Spoiled it for y'all. Catch up to season 22 of Family Guy when y'all get the chance. Right. I saw the episode and that was crazy because so she's technically a mom now? Or are we just not, are we just gonna brush upon it and make it seem like regular her? Or we're not just gonna address the fact that she's a whole mom right now?
Right.
I'm not gonna say it's about time because I never assumed for Meg to really have a baby.
I like it because this is gonna show. I know they're probably gonna show Meg now a little more. Because Meg in the show,
because you know Meg got shit on a lot of the series.
Yeah, they always try to shit on Meg. Meg is one of the unknown characters, really. Like she's there, but we don't give Meg enough praise.
We don't give Meg enough light at all. The fans, the show, nothing. So the fact that we see Meg in her little element, you know, it's kind of like, you know, we want to stand her. You know what I mean? Like we stand Meg. Anyway, sorry, y'all. We got a little carried away. But as y'all know, it's adult animation all day, every day. Even though we do enjoy our reality trash. Yeah. Like we enjoy our reality trash. You know what I mean? We know the shows. Come on.
Would you rather find true love today or win the lottery next year?
Win the lottery next year.
Yeah, good one.
Yo, win the lottery next year.
I ain't found my true love yet.
Like, I feel like if you used to ask me that question next year, I would have a different answer, or like a couple of years, I might have a different answer. But I just feel like my walls are just so when it comes to love right now, and it's stuff that I'm actually working on currently. I need money right now. You know what I mean? So like the money hungry me, the one in the grind me, like I just told them earlier in the episode, like we are in our survival era. You know what I mean? Like we're scavenging and, you know, scraping for anything we can at this point. So just because I'm in a grinding mentality now and I have been for a while, I'm gonna say win the lottery next year. I want that when I'm ready for true love, I'm able to juggle it.
Yeah.
Would you have a man that's a good person, does everything for you, and really embraces and invests his love into you? Or would you want a successful man that's a trash human being?
I want the with nothing but love. I want the with nothing but love.
I felt like you were going to pick that, but I wanted to know because I know you said like, you know, about the standards, but I wanted to know, like, do you feel like it's one of those things where like if true love really, really hits you, you'd let certain things go? Or do you feel like your standards will always kind of like block that?
You got me because I got you.
Yo.
I mean, my standards are still my standards, but if I'm being really, really lenient, you have to want to do something for yourself. I'm sorry. If it's not going on right now, sometimes men, they need a little push. If you got nothing going on right now, but you tell me, and I hear your dreams, and I know you love the hell out of me, I'm going to support you.
You'll give them a platform to grow.
Yes.
Into doing something for themselves.
Versus being with a douchebag with a whole bunch of money. In a dollar in this world, I would never compare money to love. I choose love over money any day.
Got it. I think we all, I don't know, because there's some people that might not do that. I'm about to say, I think we all do. I don't think everybody in the world running on the same time as I'm in, but I damn sure do. I feel like even just with relationships, period, like, you know, with my family, like I can't put money or anything above the people I care about in my life, you know, like friends, family, because money can go. But that love is like, that shit is tight. You know what I mean?
But this is one you're going to have to think.
Okay. I like the ones that I got to think. I be telling my friends to hit me with them. Like,
would you rather have Beyonce's talent or Jay-Z's business acumen?
Yo, like, okay.
You will still be part of the Beehive, no matter what.
Oh, that could have. So, like, girl, I'm going to see her in December. I'm going to see the Renaissance film, y'all. Because this was the girls that wasn't able to make the tour. So you wasn't able to make the tour, you're going to see.
You gonna have money for that $30 ticket.
I had the money for the motherfucking ticket. Shout out to Claudia. Claudia actually helped chip in for my ticket. My gut is telling me to go with Beyonce's talent. The reason why is because there's hard work in Jay-Z's business ethic, 100,000 million %. But I love to sing. I cannot see myself operating. I cannot see myself operating in this world, not doing what I love to do.
Yeah.
I feel like my talent along the way will pave the way for me to make good business decisions.
That's the right answer.
I mean, I knew you already know I'm gonna say that, didn't you? No, but like for real, it's just like, yo, I love to sing. Like I could have not $1 to my name. I don't need money to sing. Listen, if you really be technical, I could sing right now. I always do. You know what I mean? Like I could be at the lowest in my life. Like when my mom passed away, I still found myself singing. Like singing moves me. It's my DNA. It's in me. Like I could have all the business smarts. I could have all the business smarts in the world. That won't make me happy. I don't just look at my career as a way for me to make money. I look at it as a way for me to be happy.
Yeah.
That's
gotta do what makes you happy.
Yeah, you know, you really got to do what makes you happy. You know what I mean? Like music, and just it's just my calling. You know what I mean? Like that's like, to me, that's equivalent to like saying, "Do you want your breath?" Or you know, like. So, damn, that was a good ass question. I'm so fucking glad you asked me that shit. Damn, you hit me hard. Okay, can I hit you a little hard? Okay. If you had to choose between being Black and growing up in the projects or being Black and growing up in the suburbs, what would you pick?
I need to know. We're like, this is how we're gonna do each other, and this is how we're going to do each other, because it's really something to think about.
Don't shoot me.
Yeah.
I say suburbs. I say suburbs. If the white people can live large, why can't I?
And you should want better for yourself.
Hello? Like, you know, I want my kids to be safe. I want them to be in a safe. I don't give if I live in a gated community, bitch. Call me bougie. I don't care. I always want my kids to have better.
And there's cons to living in the suburbs too.
There is cons. Especially if you're the only black people living in the suburbs.
Yeah. That's the thing, because there's
as long as me and my family is safe and protected, we're gonna be fine.
The only reason why I asked you that question was because I also was kind of thinking about it. You know, I always said this, and I think I actually wrote it in the song. I said that I never really cared to grow. I never really liked growing up in the hood, but it made me, and I like that it did. Growing up in the projects, you really see a whole different spectrum of life.
Yeah.
And it makes you want to do 80 times more for yourself. Like the drive and just the come up. Like, I like that feeling of saying I'm from the hood. Like it's like a very encouraging thing to say. I don't know why. Like, it makes me feel like I could pick up a building like I'm from the hood. Like, it's just that simple. Like, I love saying that. Like, because it's so, I feel like living this type of lifestyle is so raw. It's so authentic. Yeah. And it really shows you how to challenge, how to navigate your life through so much ugly. You know what I mean? Do I see the projects for all Black people? Do I feel like all Black people should have to live this way? Or most minorities? Do I feel like minorities should have to live this way? Absolutely not. And just last episode, we actually spoke about the struggles of having to live in housing. It just helps to build a better you. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's needed. You know what I mean? It's needed. Like, I feel like I'm more prepared for the world because I grew up in the hood. To me, like, the hood definitely came with its cons. I'm ready to get the out of here. But, like, I'd say the suburbs just because, yes, I do want to, be honest, I don't know if I can answer the question. My gut is leaning more towards the hood, but, like, there's also stuff with the hood that I can't bear.
Listen to your heart.
Is my heart saying the hood? Am I a hood baby? No, I don't know. I love this. I love you. Thank you for taking the time to come on here.
Of course.
Like I tell you guys always, we are in grinding times right now. When it comes to just our lives and everything that we are doing for ourselves. Specifically me, that's why you guys didn't really see like a episode come out right away, because I've just been doing so much for myself, and I have so much more coming up for myself, not just in my personal life, but also, you know, content and art wise as well, because I am actually planning on giving you guys some stuff before the year ends, and going into next year I plan to, you know, also, I'm also working on more stuff to give you guys. That's really exciting that I can't speak about right now. But, you know, just know that I'm working. The reason why you guys might not see a video every week is because I'm working. But I just wanted to do this episode also specifically just to let you guys know that I'm never too far away, you know, from doing this, providing y'all with what y'all need. I love y'all, and I thank you guys for all of y'all support. As I say, always stay tuned, and it's your boy signing out. And some special love, and say goodbye to my girl Chanala. We did our thing. All right, y'all.
Hearing and listening, you get it.